It's another gorilla stream, that it is. I hope you're doing well. Well, you see, they're all fucking scam artists, aren't they? Oh, yeah, that's what they are. But will they tell you that? No. Will they be honest with you? No. They don't know the meaning of the fucking word, do they? All they'll ever do is rip you off, try to con you, that they will. Well, let's go into live. Bear with me. I am just literally going to go into that. And then check that out. There we are. Right. Oh, better take my volume off. It is off. So, have you heard they've been relabeling products? They have, yeah. American products as Canadian products. We'll get into that in a moment. But also, Fortune 500 companies have been supplying contracts to ICE. Yeah. And no usual kind of tenderings. No. You know, just basically, you know, he'll do. And then you get the blooming job that you do. Oh, you see. What a bunch of con artists. Now, for some reason, we're not going to come up. Here we go. We're here. Hello there, 12 watching. Hello there, hope you well. Well, hello, these pools have claws, are you? Well, I'm just going to do that on there. Bear with me, because it's a bit of a gorilla stream, this one. I just thought I'd go, hence I've got a very wrinkly shirt on. Yeah, I fell asleep in that. As you do. And yeah, there's a few things been going on, as you can probably imagine, you know, such as CBC investigation finds some big grocers promoting imported food with Canadian branding, or at the very least prepared in Canada, even though they're American products. That's what they are, American products. Now what a bunch of fucking assholes that they are. Hello there, Robin Banks and Tanuki. Hello, how are you? I'm fine. How about you? And Mozilla. I hope you're well too. Yeah. So, well, yes. Fortune 500 companies as well, as you can see here. Yeah. These are the Fortune 500 companies that have active contracts with ICE. Maybe you want to boycott a few of these when we go through them. Yeah, it might be a good idea. Yeah. Companies such as telecoms company, AT&T and what have you, you know, and FedEx, all supplying services to ICE. These are all ways that you can hit back at these fascists. You can hit back at them by affecting their supply chain. You can hit back at them by disabling their vehicles. And bear with me just a second, I've just got to let my dog in. I have. Yeah, this is. I'll be there in 2 seconds. Okay. Oh, she's coming. This off. Hold on. I'm back. I know it's gone black. Yeah. So you can't see that I'm not wearing any clothes. I'm joking. What a day, you know. Donald Trump went and visit the federal, the new buildings for the Federal Bank in the United States, and Jerome Powell, you know, showed him around like good citizen that he is. And Donald Trump tried to pull the wool over his eyes, and he was having none of it. Yeah. Tried to tell him that it was $3.1 billion it's cost. And then his co-conspirator goes, oh, it's $3.2 billion, yeah. When it comes down to it, Donald Trump had another building. Yeah, that was actually completed over 5 years ago. It's just... Do these people actually believe this shit? Really? I just find it just mind-numbingly... Oh, it's MAGA, I suppose. They clearly are the lack of thinking. Stupid is as stupid does, you know. Like I say, this is a gorilla stream, so I'm not that prepared, but I do have a few things I would like to talk about. Hello, Cat's Eye Moves and Curious, Andrew Evans, and the Cavan Lad. Hello, my friends. Yes, don't forget to boot the old like button, and it's very easy on there now. You can just double-click the screen, and it likes the video. Ain't that amazing? Yeah. I've got no likes yet. Boop, boop. So what babbling about? What are you babbling about? What are you babbling about? Oh, Trump all the way, yeah, all the way to jail. Paedophile, that is. Have you heard he likes little girls? He likes school children, effectively. After all, they would be at school. After all, he did hang about with his best buddy for around 10 odd years. You know how it goes. Whizzing around on the Epstein plane. There's enough accounts to, convince any normal person that Donald Trump is a PDF file. That is. I'm sorry if you don't want to accept that. But it appears to be very, very true. Allegedly. Well, Trump is going to try and blame Powell when the economy crashes. No, Powell is the only person who's actually keeping the economy on any kind of steady footing. That he is, you see. Donald Trump wants him to cut the interest rate when the economy can't sustain it. That's madness. That's madness. And why won't Powell cut the interest rate? Well, it's because Donald Trump's tariffs. Donald Trump's tariffs has meant that you've lost out on 3 potential interest rate reductions. That's what Powell has said. Have I skipped a button? No. I've got to take my shirt. I fell asleep with it. It's a bit wrinkly. Steve Irwin, Crocodile Guy, watching. What the reruns? Watching Crocodile. Oh, crikey. God, was it a stingray or something I got? Or manta ray or something? I don't know. That sorted him out, didn't it? Poor bugger. That's what happens when you mess about with nature. Leave them alone. Yeah. He should have been in prison years ago. It's money again, isn't it? So he's put money. At the very least, it buys you a nice comfy cell instead of one of them cold cells. You know, these people in these ICE detention centres, all they get being given is a foil blanket, you know, a bit of bacon foil that you put on your chicken. Chuck them in the oven. Freezing cold, though. That it is. The hangover experience. Oh, I give you 11 hours. 11 hours for what? I don't know. I've got an energy drink, so I might go a bit longer than that. I've done a 7-hour stream before. I'm not doing that again. It's not fair on the. Well, I don't know, actually. I have to plan it, though. Andrew Evans, hope you well. You're gone, apparently. Oh. The Illuminati! Oh, blimey, the Illuminati. He should have been in prison years ago. I 100% agree. Yeah. Yeah, a Goodfellas style. Oh, for Trump. I just hope he ends up with some burlish character who likes a bit of chocolate starfish. On a regular basis, you know, just recover and have another go. Oh! Trump would love that, wouldn't he? I'll tell you what, with all that extra pumping and what have you, the gases will build up, that he will, and he certainly will go. Trump by name and Trump by nature, though he will be. Well, I'm sorry about that. Well, okay, so we get into it. I think we should. I'm going to start with this, because this is, quite frankly, these people, right, it's just all about bloody money, it is. All about money. They've got no morals, and they need to be called out for such, you know. There's so many ways we can hit back at ICE by making sure that their contractors know that we know who they are and who they are working for, and that they are working for this fascist regime. Well, Fortune 500 companies that have active contracts with ICE. Now, we will be talking about Canada as well, since there's been a load of labelling going on, relabelling of American products as Canadian products. So ICE arrests have led to demonstrations across the United States, including the New York City. We've heard about it. We're seeing it. We're seeing how ICE manhandles citizens. Whatever. In fact, an old one chap, he died falling off a roof after being chased. My dog's coughing. You all right, fella? He ain't very well, so you know. So, a federal agency, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has come under the microscope recently, haven't they? You know, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Donald Trump and his ICE. I hope their volume is loud enough. Let me just bring it up a little bit more, maybe. Now, hundreds of private companies, I'll make it a little bit bigger, maybe you can see it a bit better. Hundreds of private companies contract with ICE, providing everything from internet services to package delivery, such as FedEx, you know, to soap and bed liners and festival tents. And ICE's most significant spending may be still to come. The White House's proposed budget, aka Trump's big beautiful bill, has earmarked another $75 billion in additional funds for the ICE operations, effectively doubling their budget. The bulk of that spending, around $45 million, will go to increasing the government's capacity for adult detentions and family residential centres. Now, during the President Donald Trump's first administration, he proved rather controversial in kids in cages and God knows what. You know what he's like. It's just a nasty piece of work, you know, and conning people regarding this feckin' wall, Steve Bannon, didn't he? You know, he should be back in jail. He should. These people, they always get short sentences, don't they? Always get short. They even blooming Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, when he was, he got a sweetheart deal in the early 2000s. And then finally in 2019, he got arrested again in jail. You know, it's just because they got money. And obviously knowledge of those who are involved. And there's little sex ring. Little parties. It's dirty parties. With young girls. As a man with children myself and grandchildren, the idea that they could one day be abused by these people... I've said it before in life, so I don't mind telling you. I'm a vindictive bastard, okay? If someone crosses me, I'll have a very long memory. So, and employers to cut ties with ICE. So anyway, thousands of employees at these organisations, including Amazon, Microsoft, and Deloitte, have called on their employers to cut ties to ICE and other federal agencies, overseeing policies that separated migrant children from their parents. Totally immoral and wrong. What happens to these children? Well, they end up in foster care. In many cases, as with the highly influential consulting firm McKinsey, workers, letters, and protests of that era successfully convinced business leaders to end their relationships with immigration-focused federal departments. Now, we'll get to the companies that are involved in a moment, but it's clear to me that many of these people American citizens don't even understand about immigration status. They are so deluded. I've got a little video clip here I can show you. I'll bring that over. There we are. Let's. Oh, come back. Let's bring that into HAR. And bring that over there. Can you hear that? Because you probably can't because the volume's off.
Where'd you get? What's the basis of your claim for that?
Are you talking about people that get
immigrants overall?
She's ludicrous.
Are good for America.
Do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
That's not true. Where'd you get? What's the basis of your claim for that?
Are you talking about people that get naturalized in the process of becoming American?
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay. Yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It says any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized Americans in this country.
Yes, but
you didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also the millions of immigrants. It's up to the millions. It's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively,
people,
I would argue.
in regards to just your claim about immigrants specifically, we cannot even get jobs to pay for housing.
Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
That's good. You got rid of all the
Is
migrants.
this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I
I'm an
consistently
immigrant
hear,
and an American, and I employ
Sure.
many
And
American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here.
and
I employ
my
Americans.
parents. No, my parents came
Americans as defined by you.
my parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed
Oh,
to
wow.
immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was born
But you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your
because-
parents are not Americans.
Not at this moment.
So hold
no,
on, your parents are
they're
not Americans.
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens.
Dance
by being
around on the
no,
head
I
of a
was
pin.
born here, and I'm not
Yeah, you're
opposed
born
to
here, right?
naturalization. I
But
never
are your
said that I'm
parents?
against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against
You did.
naturalization.
You began. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants. You said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
So they
I want
are
to make the
immigrants.
claim
You
that
said,
we can.
I came here as an immigrant. I'm an
But
immigrant.
at this point, when they came, the
think
United
that people
States
aren't happy with the
economy,
way this
Status
is
doesn't
going.
change.
the United States economy was not at.
It's better now. The American economy is better than it's been
Not
for
from
many
the-
years.
not from the
And I can say
statistics
that
I
as someone who
see.
doesn't like Donald Trump.
We're
Which
giving
statistics are you
millions
seeing?
and billions of dollars
Which
to
statistics
people
are you
of,
seeing?
minorities as well as
The reason the
immigrants
economy is doing badly now is
that
because Donald
that
Trump's
we're giving
tariff
it to loans.
policy.
We cannot
Nothing
even
to do
get
with
businesses.
migrants. In fact, the
They can't
congressional.
even start businesses.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business. In
No,
fact,
I
in
understand
fact,
because the SBA
immigrants
is
are-
giving people
immigrants-
billions
I
of
didn't take any
loans.
loans
They're giving
from
them
SBA.
billions.
I didn't take any loans
I'm not
from
saying you
SBA.
did, but I'm
Okay,
saying
well,
that
saying I did.
statistically speaking, they're giving billions of
So
loans
should we
to
do
these people.
statistics? According to statistics, immigrants are 80% more likely to be entrepreneurs than native-born Americans.
Sure,
They're more likely
absolutely.
to start
No, I'm
businesses
aware of
and
that.
hire Americans.
No, I'm aware of
right?
that,
Immigrants
but
are
we
more
also-
likely to pay in taxes than
Yeah.
take out in benefits.
And
They're more likely to add to innovation and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show.
You can't argue with that because it's true. And it's the same difference in the United Kingdom, you know? We had the same issue with the Brexit. Oh, those Eastern Europeans, I'll get rid of them and all that, you know? The Bulgarians, the Polish, and all that. Taking their jobs, yeah, they're stealing our jobs and our money. Really? I think that's a load of bollocks, if you ask me. And it is. Well... Oh, what's it? Taking our jobs in the world. That reminds me of something. Oh, here we go.
Coming over here, taking our jobs and our women.
Oh, that they do! Oh, dear me, they pesky migrants taking our jobs and our women that they are. Okay. And, well, starting businesses and providing jobs. But other naturalised citizens and born in the United States and in the United Kingdom, in France and wherever they might be, you see, it's just racism, bigotry, xenophobia. It's the hate of the other. Just like the hate for LGBTQ, TQ plus, whatever it is. Just, if it's a little bit different than you, oh, you got a problem. I'm not saying you specifically, but many people, they don't like the other. There we go. Hello, Joel. Hope you're well, my friend. Chrome Dome and Chris Perry and coming down. There we are. Does Marcus hold a grudge? A grudge about what? What grudge? I do hold a bit of a grudge, actually, about some things. If people hurt me or my family, I hold a bit of a grudge. Yes. Okay. Does this look like a church? No, it doesn't, Joe. It's not a church. I'm an atheist. Oh, I am, yes. Burn them all at the stake, I say. The Christians. The child abusing Christians, okay? So let's be honest about it. All these people that are defending Donald Trump. They all got their little crosses on. They have, like, Pam Bondi. Yeah, they all got their little crosses on and telling us how Christian they are. And yet, they are the ones with that little cross on. What does that tell you? That's not very Christian, if you ask me. And no. These people are, well, they're more than just foul. They are evil. Including Pam Bondi, who's always got her little cross on. Crossing her fingers as well at the same time while she's trying to make there ain't no files. No. And Donald Trump, obviously, it was the Obamas, and it was Biden, and it was everybody else. It's a hoax. Like Russia, Russia, Russia. They think you're all stupid. Well, actually, many people are, actually, let's be fair. Don't forget, double click the screen, and you can then do a like. And then you'll get the 5,000 Doge check straight through your post. That you will, yeah. Funded by Donald Trump, yeah, and his Doge. That's what I mean. Ah. Thank goodness it's over. These people, though. These people. They are out of their fucking minds, they are. And they walk amongst us, they do. They walk amongst us. They go to the same shops. It's friggin' psychobabble. They drive you nuts, that they do. They're lunatics. They haven't got a bloody clue what they're on about. I have to admit, if you're in that sort of situation where you're in a bit of a debate situation, it must be quite hard to think on your feet like that, unless there's something that you're used to doing. Which he obviously is. But if you're going to put yourself up for that, you really got to be prepared, haven't you? You've got to maybe do a little bit of recce. Huh? It would make sense to me. It really would, but they don't, do they? They just don't. You know, I think this one here is the same. It's the same place.
So-called.
Look, this guy. This guy is. I don't know. He reminds me of some. I can't have to show you this. I'm going to show you this. Okay, so it's another one, same geezer, right? But with this weird guy, it looks like he's just tied a Penelope pit stop to the railway track. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about.
Innocent Palestinians? You don't think Palestinians are innocent?
Not all of them.
Because they've
17,000 children were killed.
They're doing the
17,000 children were killed. Were they not innocent?
Were
they not innocent?
Who's responsible for that?
Israel, who dropped the bombs on
Hamas
them.
is responsible. Hamas is responsible for hiding in hospitals and making tunnels underneath
So
those
when
hospitals.
children are shot in the head by Israeli snipers not responsible.
How can you defend that?
It's a simple question.
Here's the problem.
When Israeli snipers shoot Palestinian children in Gaza in the head, as eyewitness testimony and doctors' testimony proves, that's not the fault of the Israeli snipers.
This is the problem, because when you have a
The problem is you won't answer the question. I'll ask you a third time. When Israeli snipers shoot Palestinian children in the head, is that not the fault of Israeli snipers?
Well, you gotta let me finish.
No, you got to answer the question. Fourth time.
Well,
when Israeli
I will
snipers
get to
shoot
your answer.
Palestinian children in the
I
head,
will get to your
we're running out of
answer.
time. I need to
Well,
know what you think about innocent children.
Because
So-called innocent Palestinians. You don't think Palestinians?
They are the worst, aren't they? They are terrible, terrible people. They just are. So, it's just on the chick in the chat. I'll tell you what, I haven't brought the chat up in my screen. I'll tell you what, let me just get it so you can see the chat. Pop out the chat. And then maybe we can put that in the screen as well. Oh, there it is. There's the chat. Let's make that a little bit smaller. And then make that bigger. I think I'll do. Put that onto live. There you go. Maybe that's a little bit too big. I'm Portuguese too, but South African born, only 8 years in Portugal, 20 years in the UK, no, in Austria. Blimey. You got a fellow Portuguese there, Joel. His name is Fernando. I'm a Canadian mutt. Oh dear. No, Joe is not American. He's Portuguese. As a Canadian, it's hard to understand why people get angry over immigrants. I don't get it either. And Canada has benefited from immigration. So many countries have, let's be honest. They really have. For Christ's sake, the United States is founded on immigration. After all, they killed all the blooming Indians nearly, didn't they? The natives don't get a look in. Yeah, shove on some reservations somewhere with infertile soil. They're a great idea. They were happy about that, weren't they? Yeah. No wonder they're a bit pissed off. Oh, there we come. Oh, crikey. South Portuguese. A Prussian Alentejano? Crikey. Blimey. Don't worry, Joe. I'm not going to be going too long today. We'll probably do an hour, I should think. Well, CBC investigation, Fortune 500. There you go. Back onto the Fortune 500s. I thought, yeah, well, let's have a look at these companies, shall we? Just make sure we can get that back into the screen. Because currently, because of the video, I messed up all my format. There you go. How about that? So by searching the government's spending database, choose recipients under Explore the Data to start your search and be sure to select the correct time frame. Now, what I'll do is I'll put that US spending. Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat. So if you want to do your own searches, you can. I'm not going to do that here because it'll get a bit messy, a bit untidy. So, yeah, choose recipients under Explore the Data to start your search. Be sure to select the correct time frame and funding agency for your inquiry. Check the database often since it is constantly being updated. So, again, give you an idea who to boycott. Now, big tech companies have at times partnered with major defence firms. So, obviously, with obviously Lockheed Martin or the usual subcontractors. Now, these are ones that got contracts with ICE. It's 2021. The telecom giant signed a multi-year contract to supply ICE with IT. I know this was before Trump, but still. Network products and support. The contract is worth $83 million and is set to wrap up in September. However, the contract includes potential end date of 2032 and could potentially be worth $164.5 million. The AT&T or AT&T did not respond to Fortune's request for comment. You see, you need to be able to boycott these companies and make sure that they know why they're being boycotted. So if you're going to do it online, I'm sure there's a comment box in there. And make sure they know why, because that information is collated. They need to know. They need to know, make it public, why you are boycotting these companies. In some cases, you might not have no choice but to stay with. Maybe you've got a contract term. Booz Allen Hamilton. I don't know who the heck they are. Oh, they're a defence contractor. And they have a $51.9 million contract to supply ICE with design, development, and data analytics for a project known as Raven. Essentially, a data repository managed by ICE's Homeland Security Investigations ASR unit. The contract is set to end in September of this year. Now, we're not likely to be using Booz Allen Hamiltons, are we? But other companies that you might be involved or using, maybe they do. So maybe look at boycotting them. Give them a fucking hard time for using a fascist company, because it clearly is working for these people. Kaki or Cassie International, a federal contractor and IT services company, provides ICE with tactical communications, operations, and maintenance as part of an ICE award. ICE award that was worth $119.9 million and could potentially increase to $130.6 million. Blimey. Alright, so we don't have many people at the moment, so I don't know how long I'll be going for, to be honest. Okay, so let me come. Charter communications. That's the thing. Every time I do it on the computer, right? Even though it's still going into the live feed, but I'm using streaming software, they don't show it. They're not showing it to people because only got 17 people there. Earlier, I had 600 people in the live stream, So that just tells me something that they seem to give preferential treatment to using the app. Well, that means you can't do half the bloody stuff you want to do. You can't bring up the pages and stuff. YouTube's useless. It really is. If they want us to use things like the apps, well, then they need to make sure they provide, a balance in the actual showing the stream. So Charter Communication, they got the smallest contract. It's actually very small. Current award's only 12 grand, though it could become 21, 3,000. I wouldn't hit companies like that, with tiny contracts like that. No, I'd leave them alone. Comcast holds a nice award worth 61,000, near enough. And they provide broadcasting cable at 5 regional wire rooms. Hang on, what are these people? What do they actually supply? So these other people providing cable in there. So no, actually Boycott. Charter Communications as well, because these are all providing infrastructure. So you've got to make it hard for these organisations. Impossible for them to function. You really have. And Dell, an $18.8 million contract to support the Office of ICE's Chief Information Officer for the purchase of Microsoft Enterprise software licenses, and the work was first awarded in April this year. So Dell, don't buy Dell computers. No, stay well away. They're shit anyway. So, Ecolab, a major provider of cleaning supplies, as well as, I was just trying to call it Ecolab, and in the day they're probably using phosphates and stuff like that. It's toxic shit. A major provider of cleaning supplies, as well as food and beverage production equipment. They got a 5-year contract worth 136,518. That began back in 2021. To supply laundry and dish machine detergent to ICE's Florence Detention Center in Arizona, which is set to expire in 2026. Now, don't get me wrong, all right? Regarding these ICE detention centers, if they're, at the end of the day, if they are harbouring, they've got criminals in there, actual criminals, dangerous criminals, and fair enough, deport the backers, get rid of them. Get them out of the country. But they're not. They're just not. Most of the people in these detention centres are just ordinary folk trying to get by. And then we've got FedEx. Bloody FedEx. Now they've got a $1 million contract for services in 2021. A contract set to expire in 2026, so they're still operating. And they won't comment. So, they're probably hoping for more money, since there is more money being spent. General Dynamics, another large contractor for the federal government, has a $9.6 million contract to provide background investigations for ICE. That one, well, we need to know who else is using them. Who else uses General Dynamics? Who are their customers? I wonder if we can find that out. I might have to, I'll look at that in a moment. So they've got, crikey, 958 billion, or nearly a trillion, or just on defence, national defence, they get. Fucking hell. Really? So far, the federal government plans to spend 6.8 trillion, including, I see, in national defence, and as for the government itself, not for them. Ooh, believe me, huge amounts of money, and yet they won't cut your Medicaid. L3Harris Technologies, a major US defence contract. L3Harris has a 4.4 million contract. This is all this stuff, you see, just so you don't have people, foreign gardeners, landscapers, brown ones, The Tinos. So 4.4 million contractors provide equipment to determine the location of targeted mobile handsets to investigate crimes and threats. So this is how they're finding out where these people are. Don't register your phone numbers anywhere. I don't use my phone, right? I don't give my phone number to anybody. I just don't. Okay? I don't use it for that. I do all my communications via email. Motorola. Well, they're they're providing customer-grade walkie-talkies, etc., video surveillance systems, and other forms of communications. A 15.6 million contract. Oh, Boycott the backers. Yeah, that's got it. Expires in May, but could be extended to 2028. Thermo Fisher Scientific. Maker of lab and special diagnostic equipment. God, that's a small contract, 38,000. That says that provides ISIS Rally Office with narcotics analyzers for investigation case operations, probably for planting drugs on children. UPS. So that's another postal delivery system service. Another one to boycott. It's getting hard now, isn't it? Yeah, and you want to be able to get deliveries. 60,500 now, it could be worth 90,500. Small contracts, but you know, it's the infrastructure. If you can break down their infrastructure, you're gonna better achieve down site more. So fascist companies, they got no morals and no ethics, have they? They can't have. They really can't. Anyway, in the chat, let's have a look. So where's my chat gone? Where's it hiding? Oh, let's look over here. Oh, there it is. So, the last attempt Trump made was the proposal for weapon procurement from the United States for NATO to supply weapons to Ukraine, but starting with France and Germany, everyone told them no. All he was offering was to sell the bloody things. Crazy. Yeah, I heard about that. Howard Lutnick or Nutlick, he bought a house, one of the houses he bought next to Epstein. The reason why Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump fell out was over a real estate deal. Epstein showed him a house that he was looking to buy for, I can't remember how many millions, it was like 20 or 30 million or something. Well, Donald Trump went in there and said, well, I think I'll have that. And he bought it for 40 million. 2 years later, he sold it for 200 million. Or was it 100 million? 200 million. Donald Trump did. Needless to say, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't very happy. It'll be another market crash in a week with the tariffs until tacos out again. Yeah, most likely. Very, very likely. They fly over areas and capture mobile phone numbers and conversation. Also, license plates. And save. Save it for parts. There's a good video about it. Oh, won't. Okay. It's really a government spy plane over my neighbourhood. Oh my god. Really? Oh, that's the name of the video. Got you. The Democrats had better already be planning Project 2029 to curb presidential powers like pardons, codify. They ought to have like ICE raids for pardoned criminals. That's what they need to do. Actually, some of them they were pardoned or back in jail again. 4.4 million to track phones, yeah. Sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? So Trump brought his Epstein cohorts with him to the White House. Yeah, literally. Hello, Jack. Here we come. I should use my mobile, shouldn't I? Look at this. I always get more people on my mobile than I do actually on live. Anyway, don't forget double click the whole screen and that, because then you get a like, a special prize. Oh, there we go. Anyway, let's get into because I'm not going to be going very long on today, because well, we're not doing too well here, so we need people, you see. Otherwise, if you've got enough audience, you can't actually get the word out, can you? So whatever way, if you want to spread the word, if you want to tell the truth and make sure enough people know about it, you need enough people visiting. And if you only got like 16 people watching at the moment, it's not going to cut the mustard, is it? I'd be better off actually just I'm coming off and then put my mobile on. I'm doing it that way. It's very frustrating. You want to do it like this so you can show people stuff, and then show you guys stuff, and then YouTube just didn't show the videos. It's really frustrating. You'd think that because it's been streamed in vertical format for the short platform, it'd still be treated as an ordinary short. But if it's not done via the actual streaming software, it's they don't show it. Not as much anyway. Well, it's clearly not. I can see from it. It's just, I can see how many people are seeing it, and how many people are seeing it. I mean, how many people are being shown it. Ah, dear me. Oh, dearie me. I sound like a moany mini, don't I? Anyway, CBC investigation. All right. Now this isn't new. Now this is a new video. This is a new article. Okay. It's about how big grocers are promoting imported food with Canadian branding, but they're not Canadian products. Now, let's be honest, though. There's been plenty of cases in the past. Marketplace found up to 1 in 3 groceries they get labelled as Canadian, but customers are saying they are sceptical. And analysing data from 3 leading grocery chains to see what products are being branded Canadian. And this was earlier this year, in April this year. So this has been going on for some while. But they've been caught with their hands in the cookie jar, I suppose. Prepared in Canada, apparently. But apparently not. So big grocers are branding many in-store food items with maple leaf symbols. Fraud, isn't it? And at times declaring such as prepared in Canada or made in Canada. CBC News has found that sometimes a Canadian connection for products is unclear. You say in many cases it's just to fool you into it. Let's be honest, it's just trying to fool you with this boycott, and they've probably got a load of stock trying to get rid of. So, like many shoppers these days, Stacey Deneen, who lives just outside Kitchener, your country needs you, or wants you, is all in on by the Canadian movement. By Canadian. For obvious reasons, because of these fucking tariffs, which is an attack on Canada. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just madness on Trump's part. Absolute madness. And let's be fair, Trump ain't the brightest cookie out there. He might think he is, but he's not. Trump is a fool. He really is. Let's show you.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit.
Oh, no, it's not.
So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2. This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
Are you including the Martin renovation? You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's the building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's not new.
So we're taking a look, and
Trump, you fucking moron. You really are. You think you can scam clever people? People who aren't stupid. Yeah, he might be able to manage to do that with his MAGA crowd, but you're talking about the governor of the federal bank, for Christ's sake. He's no bloody fool. He wouldn't have that job. In fact, Donald Trump gave him that bloody job, and Donald Trump's got a problem with him. Well, so Trump's comments about annexing Canada, wanting to make us a part of the United States, well, it has, like they say here, well, it's put the fire in your belly, it has, yes. Put the fire in your belly, Canadians' belly, to stand up against this tyranny. And so you should. You shouldn't put up with any of it. Definitely not. Why should you? Now, Canada's major grocery chains have jumped on the trend of running patriotic ads and pledging to help shoppers buy Canadian. When it comes down to it, they're not Canadian products. But then says she's getting frustrated when grocers provide conflicting information about where a product comes from. Last week, for example, what they say it's been handled by Canada. It's been in a warehouse. Last week, for example, she saw organic broccoli at a local Sobeys grocery store. They're one of the worst, apparently. A sign stated it was a product of Canada, but the fine print on the tag said a produce of USA. Oh, they think they're stupid. Look at this. Product of Canada, and they got produce. Oh, they think you're stupid. That really does. Yeah. It makes me feel misled, says Denis. At this point, I've run out of patience for it. It feels that, at the very least, it's careless. Now, do data from the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and the CBC News investigation suggest the country of origin mislabeling by grocers is an ongoing problem. It's also against the rules. It's illegal. It's fraudulent. They're trying to mislead the customer. So the CFIA, Canada's food regulator, told the CBC News that between November 2024 and mid-July, it received 97 complaints related to country of origin claims. See, most people wouldn't even notice. They just pick the goods up. They think it's the same goods they had before. They wouldn't even notice. They just won't. Now, many major grocery chains are trying to draw in by Canadian conscious shoppers. But when CBC News took a close look, it found misleading Canadian branding for several imported food products. And of the 91 complaints investigated so far, the CFIA found companies violated the rules in 29 of 30% of the cases. Now, most involved bulk produce sold in stores, and in each case, the problem was fixed, according to the agency. It's very embarrassing, isn't it? CBC News visited grocery stores operated by Sobeys, Loblaws and Metro in downtown Toronto this month and found similar issues among both bulk and pre-packaged produce. At each store, and one of the more country of origin shelf signs in the produce section stated the accompanying product was a product of Canada or Mexico, but the product's sticker or packaging said it was the product of the USA. Oh, for Christ's sake. And it's not just a produce. CBC News has found questionable Canadian signage for more than a dozen other types of products at Sobeys store, including imported raw almonds promoted with a red maple leaf symbol, and made in Canada declaration. Made? They talk about the bags or something, I don't know. CBC News found that these raw almonds displayed at Toronto Sobeys store with a red maple leaf and made in Canada declaration, but the almonds packaging said that the product was imported. They are trying to pull the wool over your eyes. See, labelling is important. Now, I'm sure this is going on in the United Kingdom, especially in Ireland. Northern Ireland. Since the Windsor Framework, for instance, because of Brexit, has caused some issues regarding labelling of produce. Not for the EU. The UK has to put on all its products now. So, we don't grow almonds in this country, they say. Those should not meet the made in Canada threshold. said Michael von Amasso, a professor in the Department of Food, Agriculture and Resource Economics at the University of Guelph. He added that a high turnover of grocery products can sometimes lead to mistakes. That's not a mistake, that's deliberate. That's deliberate. They're just trying to win you over. Oh, Canadian almonds. Lovely. Oh, Canadian marzipan as well, is there? Okay. An almond essence, an almond flour. Yeah. All those on their little keto diets. Oh, they'll be very happy, you know, making their cloud bread. However, food labelling expert Mary Abbey says that the 6 months into the Buy Canadian movement, shoppers' patience for gross errors is wearing thin. These aren't errors, come on. It's important to Canadians, and I think that they have a responsibility to their consumers who expect them to interpret the regulations correctly, said Abbey, nutritional sciences professor emeritus at the University of Toronto. I think the retailers have to step up to the plate and actually get their act together. Product of Canada, product of the USA. Trying to trick you. I'm trying to make it out that it is a mistake. All these people will say it's a mistake. Oh, as an accent, we didn't mean to do that. The back in the produce section of Sobeys, CBC News found a large sign promoting blueberries as the as a product of Canada, but the fine print on the packaging said the berries were a product of the United States. Oh dear, I think they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes, that they are. Oh dear. Whatever next. Just get that one up there. Let's get that up there. Bear with us a second. You go to your local farm, probably the best way. You know, you can't trust these people. For starting, they're all covered in chemicals, and, you know, using CO2 gas and chlorine and God knows what else to. Yeah, and also ripening gases and stuff. You know, we're talking American products especially. What do? They just get those bananas and use the gas of the bananas to ripen their food. Well, I grow a lot of my own food. If people watch this stream will know that I grow a hell of a lot of our own food. And it's the best way. You get the best fucking tomatoes for a start. Dry them yourself, you know, sun-dried tomatoes and all that. Oh, crikey. It's so good. And the peppers. And... Farm produce out now. Yes, well, they'll be a glut now, won't they? No, quite a glut yet. As soon as you started, really. Well, I started about a month ago for farmers because they obviously a bit earlier. For me, it's only just about the last 2 weeks. We've already started getting our tomatoes coming 2-3 weeks ago. You know what's funny? In the United States, USA grows a lot of garlic, but most is exported, and most garlic found in the stores in the USA is imported from China. China's actually the biggest grower of garlic. France is a big grower of garlic as well, but it depends where the garlic is from. Depends on how strong it is. Like British garlic is, further north is stronger than further south. You know, I suppose it gets sweeter. I suppose the more sun you got. Mexico grows a lot of nuts. Do you have to be so offensive? They're good, hard-working people. They're not crazy. Bulk Barn didn't want to label the country of origin. They got slaughtered on social media. Crikey. And so they should. If you're not with Canada, you're against it, aren't you? Now, we don't buy anything from the UK at all. Not because we've got a problem with the United Kingdom at all, but we live there. We live in France, so we buy products here. And I have to admit, in France, a lot of the stuff is very well labelled for a start. And they do flaunt it quite a bit, you know. Fabrique en France and whatever, you know. And it's easy to... Well, even things like T-shirts and stuff you find that are made in France. You know, not all Chinese or from Bangladesh and India, you know. A lot of the stuff is French produce, especially food. The farmers have got so much power here. So you obviously do get imported food, but not to the degree of some places. So United Kingdom is horrendous for imported food. They just don't grow enough. And what they do grow, they export. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I stopped going to Trader Joe's because they don't list country of our origin. I should. Pedos. Oh, yes! I get you now. You made me say it. Oh, damn, that's been demonetised. Oh, don't forget the old like button. Double click, double click. Food Basics have been pretty good about produce. Good. Benny, Tim Pool, oh my giddy aunt, sus supporting pedos, Trump. Yeah. If you're talking about, oh my god, Tim Pool, that look, he's always got his little hat on because he's bald. Probably, I'm not bald, right? Not quite, anyway. I do shave my head just so I can dunk it in the barrel because I get really dusty with my work, you see. So I stick my head in the barrel and I do the Timotei. You shake your head and all the water flies off and that with my bald head. I don't give a damn about how I look. I wear hats and stuff and funny glasses and stuff because I think it makes me laugh, and I love hats anyway. Yeah, Mark, parents. Sorry, I missed a lot of the conversation. We were talking about Fortune 500 companies who are supporting ICE, basically providing services. Just try to make people aware that the sort of companies that we should be boycotting. Like, for instance, what's going on in Canada, you're boycotting United States products. But, ICE who have been, deporting citizens and also Canadians and what have you at the border, and obviously Latinos, Mexicans, what have you, and just been outright nasty pieces of work with their masks on and no identity and no warrants. They need to be fined until they stop it, and that's something they do. And the fines have to be swift. You can't have all these dragged out investigations. They could be on the spot fines, really, couldn't they? And just keep doing it. Every item that has been mislabeled, whack them with another hefty fine for every single shop. And then get on a national level as well. The Canada-USA boycott is strong, says Robert RVR. The feeling is, but unfortunately, you've got a variety of different companies out there who are trying to pull the wool over your eyes, which isn't very helpful, is it? And it's important. It is important. See, you have to stand up to bullies. Donald Trump is a bully, and he's trying to bully Canada. He's been trying to bully other countries. And they too should stand up to him. All this blooming suckling on the old chocolate starfish. Yes, it doesn't work. No, it never does with a bully. You see? And it never was going to.
I think Donald Trump is clearly out of his mind.
I do. My God. Delta coffee. Okay. Is Delta coffee, are they good or are they bad? German or Dutch coffee is my favourite. German or Dutch coffee, do they grow coffee beans? I don't think so. I do like my coffee, I do. And I've got quite a nice little coffee machine. Get the old creamer going and all that, and then I'll get the old frother. Got a little Italian frother thing. I don't use the one on the side of the machine because it just bugs the machines up. He wants a population lower, like Canada, with a low dollar. Well, that don't help Canadians. All it does is just makes it very difficult to buy shit. Everything that's imported becomes more expensive. You can, when you export, it becomes cheaper. Da-da-da-da-da. Miss having good veggies. Gotta have good veggies. I had roast dinner today. She cooked a roast dinner. She got a pork joint out of the freezer. Because we tend to buy it whenever it's cheap, you see. When it's on offer, we just buy a whole load of it. That's the cheapest way. And all the veggies and that come out of the garden. And I'm not a real cabbage lover, but she does it with onions and stuff. And caramelizes the onions with the cabbage. Oh my god, it's so good. It really is good. It's bloody cabbage and it's really, really nice. And also she does a really nice coleslaw as well. With cabbage out the garden again, and carrots. And the carrots not out the garden because it's not the right time for them yet. And put a bit of apple in there as well. Oh, it's just so it's the best coleslaw. It really is. All that stuff you get in the shops is shit. It really is. The American Coast Guard tried to board a Canadian boat in Canadian waters. When they said no, they rammed the boat and crikey knocked the guy into the water. Really? When that boat is in the water, it comes under maritime law. What they did under international law is extremely criminal. Just like what they did when they arrested Filipinos, or I think it was Filipinos, on a cruise ship. They hadn't even stepped foot on American soil. They were still on the ship, on the water. So they don't care about the law. They don't care about their own laws in the United States. Just don't go there. And if you live in the United States, well, maybe you should think about trying to get out. Because unless he's removed, he's 25th. The United States is over. It's going to take decades for the damage to be healed anyway. The people in the United States are all going to be, all going to have rickets and vitamin D deficiency. Because they come back in time, you see, the olden days when it's, make America great again, when everyone was sick. Yeah, everyone died. That the average age, the life expectancy was like 40 or something. Good old days. Fresh fish here in Austria is limited to river trout. Too far from the... Oh, yes, we are, aren't you? Landlocked, yeah. This is a tragedy for the Portuguese people. River trout. Don't you like river trout? I do actually like trout. It's a bit like tuna, but much finer flesh. Oh, river trout. Might be a bit greasier. Dinner's ready. God bless you from Canada. Take care, Robert. Enjoy your dinner. Bon bon. I heard them talking about... Okay, there we go. Canadians hold a grudge for a long time. You need to. It's going to take a very long time and decent governance in the United States for these wounds to heal. Because you've got to remember, it's not just the leader. It's the fact that people voted in Donald Trump. And those people don't disappear with Donald Trump disappearing, do they? They're still there. So anytime in the future, there's a possibility you can end up with somebody similar to Donald Trump. So, countries aren't going to be too warm until they are confident that the regime is not just changed, but, for a government, but is literally eradicated, that it can't ever come back. Joe lives near the sea, lucky bugger, and prefer meat to fish, but I do like seafood. I like seafood and mussels and oysters and stuff like that. Yeah. My grandchildren are here at the moment, and they eat absolutely everything. I made chili yesterday. Hot. And the youngest he's only, how old is he? Just over one. Obushi, and he's, he ate it. No problems at all. In fact, he wanted more. The girls eat it, no trouble at all. They love it. The father's Nigerian, to be fair, but you know. Yes, they do eat absolutely. They don't waste no food. Eat absolutely everything. Buy fish from Canada. Yeah. Fish here is quite, I think it's a bit expensive here in France. And although I do like fish, we can't always afford to buy it because we're possibly about €25 a kilo for cod. Salmon's about the same sort of price. For just but you end up paying like €7-8 just for 2 little bits of salmon, 2 little paves, and it just feels like, oh, is that it? Yeah, a third voted for him. Yeah, 32% of the electorate voted for Donald Trump, and 38% still support his crap. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. See, other nations are not going to warm to the United States, even with a decent leader, for some time. They're going to, there's a 1 in 3 chance that the person you'll be speaking to when they come and visit you in whatever country might be, or Canada, for instance, maybe they've gone on holiday once all this shit, the dust has settled, if it ever does. You think, well, no, I don't know, maybe you voted Trump. There's so many people now I don't want anything to do with. I'm off the thinking. So I remove people out of my. Hey, cheers, buddy. 88B23. Coffee tip. Cheers, buddy. Mix cinnamon with your coffee. Oh, then brew it. Okay, I'll try that. I will try that. Sounds lovely. What nutmeg? You nutmeg as well. Do you like cinnamon though? Oh, cheers, 88B23. Thank you. No. I just can't see this healing. I just can't. Too many people have been hurt. Too many people have been, families separated. People have been disappeared, probably never be found again. A soft cinnamon infusion taste. I'll have to try that now. Thanks for that, buddy. Hello, Widowkeeper. I hope you're well. And everyone else knew what disaster Donald Trump would be. He's useless. What has he actually achieved? What he's doing is literally following the list from Project 2025. His keepers, the Heritage Foundation, etc., etc. And he's just using it as a cash cow. Towers, what have you. All these things, it's citizens' money going into more taxation, more costs going into the federal purse. It's not helping anybody. It's just, instead of money coming in from trade, because obviously that's diminished considerably, the monies are coming in through tariffs on diminished trade. But then you have a problem with this insular economy where you're relying on the money that's already there to fund services. And when you've got greedy fucking sons of bitches who just are hoarding money, they'll take some of that money and remove it from that insular economy. Before you know, you've got nothing left. Every economy needs other people's money. Foreign money. Just do. Especially if you trade with other countries, you definitely need it. I'm good today. I finally found another farmer who can take my hay. And it got cut today, says Widowkeeper. Oh, well done. Is it good hay? Nice mix in there, is it? So I can tolerate it steamed, soaked. Oh, crikey, in cheese sauce, not uncooked. Oh, fish. I do like sushi. I admit it. I like sushi. I don't like, obviously I was eating smoked salmon and stuff like that, but it's not really raw, is it? But raw fish, no, that seems a bit gross. And fish and octopuses that are already still alive, I don't think I fancy that either. They'll be all wiggly. It's like eating that. I have tried that actually, that French cheese with maggots in it. A bit of it was a dare, but it wasn't pleasant. No, it was the thought actually more than anything. It wasn't the taste, and the sensation was horrendous. I admit I love raw broccoli, me too. And cauliflower, me too. And only a lightly cooked, otherwise, I like it just a little bit seared. That's how I like it. Yeah, I do love veg. Might not look I might like somebody who just eats burgers all the while. But no, I do like veg. Tasaki. Oh, Tasaki. Oh, stop talking about some food. You're making me hungry. It's just be careful. You don't buy food that's got the, I don't know, made in Canada label when it's not made in Canada. Yeah, blooming dodgy companies, aren't they? They're all assets. They're all scam artists, a lot of them. And not to be trusted. There we come. Still talk about food. I have a rule that I don't eat anything alive. I won't even do that to a cheese and maggot. No, I don't recommend it. Don't do it. I don't recommend that at all. When I was a kid, I had to go on a diet, eating almost all vegetables raw. So I can eat pretty much any vegetable raw and like it. I do. I love raw vegetables, raw asparagus, raw this, raw that. You know, and raw tomatoes, raw lettuce. Oh, yeah. There's 8.2 billion people on this earth. That there is. And there are people that have enough money to make the world a billionaires without hurting their yearly overheads. Money is evil. Greed is evil. It's not money. Money's in the thing. It's just a thing. Greed. Human nature. So many people and so many of us, we either want what the other people have got. You know? It's just desire. That want. Greed. That is the problem. Instead of helping your fellow neighbour, what have you, yeah. People in general will hold on and hide and not share, I suppose. But it's not even just about sharing. I think it's about sharing on an equal basis, you know. Like for instance, our French neighbours, you know, we grow certain things, they grow certain things. You know, we having a bit of an exchange going on. I think it's fun. It also breaks the ice and it gives you an opportunity to have a chat about stuff. And it's pleasant, you know. It's nice. It's nice to be involved as well. And then you get to know where people have a trouble with something or maybe got a problem and go, either fix something for them or whatever. And it's just be a reasonable human being. You haven't got to be, I don't know, some kind of angel, have you? You know, if everybody just did a little bit, if we all just did a little bit, the world would be a better place. Just would, you know? The same applies to food. If you're great at growing potatoes and they're great at growing cabbage, well, then you've got something in common. You're both bad at something. And then you can just share, just grow a bit more of what you're good at. Vice versa, you know. The older I get, the more progressive I lean. And contrary to the old adage where I am supposed to be becoming conservative and cranky. Marco, do you know what? I think that is becoming more and more common as we move ahead. I really do. Because I'm getting more and more. I used to be just a typical kind of businessman, just trying to do their thing, earn money, what have you, and try to hold on to it. No, I didn't think about shit. Didn't think about other people really, my family obviously, but all I was concerned about and focused on was my business. These days, I'm just a bit more. I hope I'm a bit more in tune with people's feelings. I make mistakes. We all do, don't we? This food talk is making me hungry. It's made me hungry. It was a good job. I already had a little snack before. I actually had some French bread that I toasted and with some sun-dried tomatoes, some roasted peppers, which we just talked about, a little drizzle of olive oil, and some olives. Just for a little snack, We all need to start living like they do in Star Trek. Yeah. No, get rid of money. Get rid of money. Everyone does what they want for a living and share their talents for the good of each other. Yes, wouldn't that be a better world? It really would. If we all was a little bit less insular. We all need Star Trek Ultimate Socialist Utopia. Well, I feel that we are actually socialist. I believe that we are socialist, capital, hybrid and socialism, and capitalism are a hybrid of such, of the two. So I believe in the day we provide services, provide healthcare, for instance. Maybe not in the United States because it's too commercial, but like in the United Kingdom, where in France it's more about providing healthcare to everybody, healthcare for all, and that's clearly socialist. Looking after people, socialist. That's what I don't understand. Why is it so bad? Why is socialism considered as being so bad? And it's wrongly confused with communism. That's silly. Silly. It's an ignorance, I suppose. Ignorance. We'll never get rid of capitalism. Maybe it'd be nice if we did. If we had an opportunity to start again. If we had some sort of dystopia, Mad Max and all that, be trading, I don't know, batteries and fuel cans and stuff. Sam K. Hello, all shorts. Are all MAGAs off their rockers? Yeah, it appears so. Anybody who follows Donald Trump is a PDF files sympathiser, and they're the kind of people who I can never attune with. Anyone who abuse young women, children, effectively, and no one in their right mind is going to agree with that, are they? Many of them make a lot are obviously revolting against it. And then you got other mad, crazy people like I made a video earlier about Candace Owens, that right-wing influencer woman. He said that Brigitte Macron, Emmanuel Macron's French president's wife, was a man. He was born male, she said. And now she's been taken to court by Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte Macron, the Macrons. And they're using the same law firm that sued Fox News regarding, the plaintiff, was Dominion, the voting machines. They got $787 million, $787 million. So I can see the Macrons are going to end up with more than what Candace Owens can actually supply. So I'm sure she'll be crowdfunding very soon. She's worth about $5 million as Candace Owens. I did check that out. I remember skipping along trying to catch the hedgehogs in the hedges in Denmark while going out with my father to pick potatoes for dinner. That's cool. That's brilliant. Isn't it funny? Those little warm memories, they always stay with you. And also the really bad ones. And certain things that you do trigger memories. Like, for instance, as I would say, if I'm in the workshop and I'm using a tool that I can remember using, or it triggers a memory from when I was a kid, you know. Because I used to always play about wood and stuff like that, you see. Brings back memories. It brings out a feeling. You get like an intense feeling, which is, I do like it when you get that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. That I do. She'll lose, yeah, right, wrong there, Seshmet. Candace Owens should lose in court, bigly. She got leg to stand on, is she? How the hell is she going to prove that Bridget Macron is a man when Bridget Macron is not a man? She has 3 kids, for Christ's sake. And Candace Owens is still sticking to her guns on it. She's still trying to maintain that line that Bridget Macron's a man. These people are insane. She's going to lose everything over this. And I hope she does. I hope she does. Oh, rain on dry ground. The smell reminds me of home in South Africa. That's pretty cool. Rain reminds me of going to the coast. I can't remember which coast it was, but in Norfolk Coast anyway. And having sausage and chips in the car, watching the sea, and the rain hitting the windows and the windscreen wipers going. That's actually, for me, it was a fond memory. You know, it's just funny stuff like that. And it's funny what triggers memories in your head. She's rude, she's wrong, and she won't back down. You're right, Cat's Eye Moose. She's a foul individual. Candace Owens, she's the worst. She is an awful person, you know. And she's been pushing. She interviewed Andrew Tate in the past, and they had that conversation about Bridget Macron. And although, you know, as somebody who's a bystander and like listening in and you listen to stuff, it's actually quite funny to hear these people talk about it. But what we don't, or very rarely consider the consequences for the victim, in this case, Bridget Macron. It must be horrible for her. Because she's getting attacked in all directions, not just in the United States, but in France as well. This is bullying. That's what it is. Candace Owens is a bully. They are desperate nutjobs. You aren't wrong, Jack. They've got no skills at all but to grift. And the same with Donald Trump. What skills has he really got? He's a grifter. His skill is to be the master of diversion. To try and fool people. He doesn't fool those who have got a brain cell, but those MAGA lot, they're easy to fool. They get tripped up left, right, and centre by people who clearly are, well, just better than them in every way. Bridget is lovely. She is. The Greek island of Lesbos. What? What's this? Do you mean Lagos or? I'm sure. Oh yeah, KKK Landis thought she could do that. See, these people think that I've got freedom of speech, which means they think it gives them immunity to everything, but it doesn't. They don't seem to understand that it only gives them, it just stops. It just means that the government isn't allowed to interfere with your freedom of speech. Don't we say anyone else can't sue you if you're slanderous or malignant to them? Yeah, she is. She did an interview with Andrew Tate a while back, and yet again she was promoting this lie about Bridget Macron, muggy skins or mugsy sickens or sickens mug sickens. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. That says all we need to know about her. It does. You know, she's clearly a very troubled individual. No, exotic doll wanted an island. Of just one woman. Oh, I see now. There's a conversation. About Lesbos, island of Lesbos. What? Oh, dear me. We had slow cooked beef in white. Oh my god! But food again! Stop it, Steve. What is the national dish of Czechoslovakia? The Republic of Czech Republic. Well, they are clearly off their rockers. They are nutty. Oh, as a fruitcake. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to call it. And but thank you for joining. Those of you who did. But I was hoping I wanted to build this up. You see, on using the computer. Basically because I want to be able to bring in phone lines so we can have some debates going on. Maybe bring some MAGA people in. That's what I wanted to do. You know, I've got the Reeves was set up here. You know, if I can get the old phone line connected to, you know, using WhatsApp or whatever. But you know, if I can't get the people there, because YouTube doesn't seem to want to show as many people as I do if I do it via the app, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think I can do it via the phone. I can have a look, I'll try, but it'd be a bit slap happy, wouldn't it? So yeah, anyway, thank you very much for joining us, and remember, if you are buying your goods in Canada, be aware that some unscrupulous stalls are marketing the goods as a product of Canada when they are a product of the United States. So, for your boycott to have any value whatsoever, it needs to be effective, doesn't it? It really does. Same as regarding boycotting companies that are supplying services to fascist organisations and regimes headed by Donald Trump and his Nazis, Stephen Miller, etc. Terrible people, absolutely terrible people. So thanks a lot, and thanks a lot, Joel, for moderating the chat. I really appreciate it. It's the second time you've been here today. I really do appreciate it, my friend. So bye for now. And if anyone's got any ideas, I don't know, Blue Sky regarding how to get the phone line, maybe doing it via the phone itself instead. Remember, I'm in France, and I've got to think about an international method of doing it where it is free to call. So I could use WhatsApp. I don't want to get another phone card for that purpose. But yeah, anyway, but for now, toodaloo, and have a lovely day. Don't forget, before we go out though, will you boop the old like button? Double tap the screen. Double tap. Oh, toodaloo.